Hey guys, welcome back to Belle's Hoyas. In the blink of an eye, time passes so fast. It's almost coming to the end of 2022 and tomorrow is Christmas, so I'm trying my best to see if I can make a pre-Christmas Eve video to share with everyone today. Sorry guys, the bird is really loud and this is just nature, I can't stop it, so please bear with us. And as I was saying, I would be taking you guys on a tour around my garden today and just to check in on some new growths and some of the new flowers, and really happy that you guys take your time to come and spend time with me today again. And let's go. And let's start off with this corner here. Right over here is my Amichapelis, Hoya Amichapelis. Some of our viewers requested that if it's okay to show more about the Hoya leaves and the plant as a whole besides just the flowers, so I will try to do that. And if you guys like me to do that, do share with me your feedback as well in the comment sections. So this one is the leaf. As you can see, is slightly sort of curved, and there are some splashes on it that's really beautiful. The leaves are very smooth, so it's not hairy or have any hairs on it. And I believe I've mentioned in some of my older videos that this part is exposed to more bright light, so you can see that the vein is pinkish in color. There are some spots here. These are, I believe, sunspots. They are naturally occurring. It's not fungus because I have been using antifungal on this plant, and I do believe this is not fungus. It's just a natural part of the leaves. Maybe this one is a little bit, this one looks a bit suspicious because there's a yellow spot, so I believe this could be a minor fungal. If you see at the back, yes. And just to share the flowers, it is currently in bloom. Just look at the really cute bell-shaped yellow flowers. They are very, very precious looking, just very delicate yellow flowers. And this is actually the second or third time it has bloomed for me. And this Hoya is quite easy going one in terms of putting up the blooms and opening up. I do feel that once it starts to bloom, it seems to want to flower regularly. It's a very shy one. As you can see, it's sort of draping downwards, and the flowers are just sort of facing downwards as well. So it's actually a bit challenging to take a video of it, but I'm just going to sort of go down and take the video upwards just to show you guys. I hope it's clear. As you can see, there are two sets of flowers here. There's two Kidankas, and both of them are in bloom. The flowers basically has no scent, and they last for about 4 to 5 days. And I must mention that recently, as you guys know, we're having a lot of rain recently, and it's been very, very windy for the past couple of 2 days. So the media of my plants does dry up very quickly, so they do need a bit more frequent watering, or else the flowers might sort of not last for as long as they usually do. So I just want to show you guys how beautiful this cherry yellow flowers are. And moving up here, guys, you will hear a lot of whooshing sounds because of the very strong wind here. This is the SP Sungei Buloh that has just bloomed for the first time. Just look at this amazing ball of white against the pink contrast. It's just really beautiful. And I'm sure you guys would agree that for Hoyas, especially when they bloom for the first time, it's just gives us such an amazing feeling. And for me, this is the first time this particular Hoya has bloomed, so I'm really happy about that. And so far, I have not detected any fragrance from this Hoya. And I'm not very sure how long the blooms will last because this is the first time it has opened up, so I will update and share with you guys later on. And now let's move over to the plant itself. I would like to share about how it looks in terms of its leaves and the plant as a whole. So this is the plant itself. As you can see, is my Hoya Sungei Buloh, and the leaves are actually very pretty as well. You can see that it is lime green in color, and that's because it is pretty close to the sun, so it gets a bit more light. That's why it's lime green in color. I have another small cutting that is more towards the shade, and its color is more of a dark green. And I just want to show that it has very prominent veining, as you can see. So it looks a little bit like a Calastophylia kind of filling, but the leaves are smooth, so they are not like rough, and there's also no hair. This particular Hoya so far has no identity yet. It is a SP Sungei Buloh, meaning it is found in the area of Sungei Buloh, and this is actually a place in Singapore. So I can say that this Hoya is, one of our locally available plant here. And over this corner, my Canossa Dark Pink has put up a new set of buds, and I'm really excited to see the new flowers that are going to come. This is not the first time it is flowering. It's a very beautiful dark maroon burgundy pink color for this particular Canossa variety. The wind is really strong today. It's such a nice breeze for me and the Hoyas, but it's really drying out the media so much, guys. And if you can see over here on the leaves, there's some white kind of spots. These are actually left behind from the sulfur soap solution that has sprayed on the Hoyas. I believe everybody might be sort of aware, there's this hype talking about flat mites recently. So I have actually sprayed sulfur on all my Hoyas as well, just as a prevention, and it seems to be doing well for them. They are actually putting out new growths, so I think that's actually good for my Hoyas. And just to share a bit on the leaves, these are pretty typical Canossa leaves. Honestly, nothing very special. They're just mild, some usual light splashes on the leaves, and they are pretty smooth, so no hairs on it. And Canossa leaves can come in a lot of shapes and sizes. Some of them are like this sort of brown shape, and sometimes it can be very long. For this particular Canossa, it isn't long, but I've seen, you know, some of my condolences with longer leaves, and it can also be like a lot darker green if you put it in a darker, you know, less bright area. Following the vine trail, I want to share with everyone this very cute part here. Look at this really cute baby leaf here. I mean, it's so precious. It's just even smaller than the size of my fingertip. It is maroon in color. And there is also a new Pidanka that has sort of pushed its way into the crevices of this wire that I have placed to support the plant, and it has actually pushed itself within that tiny hole, and it has put up buds. So just look at that, how amazing nature is. And just moving slightly further up, we can see that these buds are forming nicely. They are getting ready to bloom. I guess in perhaps another week or so. This is not the first time it has bloomed, so it is a very beautiful orangey red flowers, and really happy that there is one more here as well as one more here. So guys, I will show you when it opens the flowers again. Definitely do stay tuned for that. I really enjoy taking these videos of my garden and sharing my Hoya journey with everybody, as sometimes, you know, while making the video I actually discover something new together with everybody. So it's a really nice thing to do. It is really such a windy day this afternoon in my garden. My hair is just like all over my head, and I'll be glad that, you know, I'm not filming myself and only filming my Hoyas. Oh, just look at that, guys. Can you see this really precious tiny one here? That is a very precious small leaf, I mean 2 leaves from my Caudalta Sumatra, and it has actually put up a brand new Pidanka with tiny buds. Oh my goodness, that is just so precious, guys. Can you see how small it is? Just look at how tiny it is. And this particular vine has sort of twirled over to here, and it's actually all the way, okay, this is one of the leaves, and it has actually twirled all the way. I'm just gonna sort of follow that trail line. This one is another leaf, and this is the plant, guys. Okay, this is my Caudalta Sumatra that I have showcased earlier in my Sunstress Hoyas video. It has put up a new Pidanka, and that's the very first time you know, this one has put up a Pidanka. So yay! I'm really happy about that, because even though this particular Hoya hasn't flowered for me before, but I have seen the flowers of Caudalta. They are really, you know, so fuzzy and cute. I'm definitely going to show that to everyone when it blooms, so do stay tuned. Caudalta's leaves are kind of furry and rough in texture, and they are just a little bit sort of crinkly at the edge. There are splashes. It's a very characteristic look of a Caudalta, and this particular one is Sunstress beautifully. Just look at the copper reddish hues. yeah, I think I have already shared a lot about Caudata in my earlier videos, so do check out those videos if you want to know more about Caudata. I would leave the link in the description box below for the Sunstress Hoya's video. And yeah, this is one of the Hoyas that I love very much, but it is a little bit difficult to manage in terms of the watering schedule, because it does tend to get root rotted pretty easily. So I am seriously very careful with this one. And moving over to this next Hoya, I have spotted a cutie as well. This is a new peduncle, guys, from my Tomatensis. This is a new peduncle and it is budding up. Just look at that, how cute are the buds. For Tomatensis is a rather easy going one. It does flower pretty regularly for me, so I would think this one is a rather forgiving Hoya. It doesn't really need much special care, and it tends to flower pretty often, but I guess the downside is the flowers are very small. I mean, they smell really nice. It's got a very nice fragrance, but the flowers are quite small. As you can see from here, they are pretty tiny, but they do form a very cute little ball of red, and I guess they do sort of offset the fact that the flowers are small by flowering very frequently. And I will show you guys this particular old peduncle that is always budding up and flowering. So this one is budding up and ready to flower again. And for Tomatensis, the flowers don't last for a very long time, so maybe about 2-3 days, but it is a very pretty Hoya as well, as it has a very nice leaves with really exquisite veining, and it sunstresses very beautifully as well. The next Hoya I would like to share with everyone is this beautiful Multiflora. Multiflora has just opened up its lovely cherry yellow blooms. Multiflora, as its names imply, has a lot of blooms, multi flowers, and it does flower very readily. And as you can see, this is a very tiny Hoya. It's just like a 2.5-inch pot. This particular Hoya is a very forgiving and easygoing one in my growing conditions here. It does grow pretty quickly, and it also flowers regularly, thus the name Multiflora. And just look at the star-shaped blooms, and I guess that is the reason why another common name of this Hoya is called the shooting star Hoya. The flowers have no scent, and they are rather big comparatively to the size of the plant. The leaves are very simple. They are very thin leaf, so this Hoya does get thirsty a little bit more than those with thick leaves, and they are mostly dark green in color with no splash, and they just look pretty normal. I mean, nothing very special about the leaves. And you guys may notice that there is quite a fair bit of white spots on the leaves, and as I explained earlier, these are residues from my sulfur solution treatment against flat mites. That seems to be the topic many of us Hoya growers are talking about these days. So I think it's definitely, you know, something to be aware of. Hoyas tend to be more susceptible to flat mites, so I think this sulfur treatment definitely, you know, does make my, you know, put my heart more at ease to you know, prevent per se, or to get rid of any possible mites that are lurking around my Hoyas. And I do get questions from some of my viewers regarding, you know, how do I make my Hoyas flower so easily, especially when they are so small. And actually I did make a video earlier hoping that that would, you know, answer some of these questions and perhaps help you guys to make your Hoyas flower more easily. And that is the top 3 tips for making a Hoya flower video, and I would put that down in the description box below for everyone. You can go and visit that video and hopefully it's helpful for you. And moving over to this side of my garden, I spotted a really cute tiny leaf that I would like to share with everyone. It's really small. I don't know whether is it clear in the video. You can just see this tiny leaf over here. Let me try to zoom in. Yes, look at that. How cute and precious is that, guys? And right up here there is another one. Look at that. This is really so tiny and precious. The Hoya, this Hoya, I mean all my Hoyas are just, you know, Hoyas just want to grow. I mean, look at this really cute leaf. And just up here is the peduncle of my SP Philippines that's refusing to bud, guys. So still waiting for it to bud and to show everybody how it looks for the first time, but it's not happening yet. So this particular small leaf is coming from, let me guess, let's just do a trail following the vines. I'm sorry guys, this bird is really active today. I am trying my best not to take a video when it's chirping, I mean singing or whatever you call that, but it's just virtually impossible, so please bear with us. And as we follow the vine, let's just see this vine comes from which Hoya, and it's actually from this particular one over here, my Parasitica Heart Splash. Is a relatively medium-sized one here. The highlight of this particular Hoya is really, I feel, is the heart-shaped leaves with its incredible splash. But I do notice that for this particular Hoya, I mean, again, this is my observations from growing this Hoya, is that it tends to be more prone to fungus infection. As you can see from here, there are some black spots, and I believe these are fungal infection. It's not really affecting the health of the plant. As you can see, it's still, you know, very healthy looking, but for aesthetic reasons it just doesn't look very good. So yeah, this is just you know, what I noticed from this particular Hoya, but it's very nice. It's a very nice one. It has put up a new peduncle over here. It hasn't flowered before for me yet, so I'm very excited to see the flowers when it happens. But yeah, not so, you know, not a fan of this dark spots over here, and you can see there's some over there as well. Yeah, not good, guys. Is another Parasilica Heart Splash that I have. The splashes are more pinkish in color because this one is closer to the sun, so it's very beautiful. Just love this particular Hoya, the heart-shaped leaves and the splash guys. Again, there is a little bit of a fungus over there, so this is what I was sharing, that it is a bit more prone to fungus infection despite it's grown in different corner of my garden. And next to the Parasilica Heart Splash is this gorgeous Patricia over here. This Hoya is really one of my all-time favorites, and I think it is obvious why. I mean, just look at the really beautiful blooms, guys. I mean, that deep maroon inners with the contrast of that pearly white outers is just absolutely beautiful. And it's also a very frequent bloomer, as you can see from this peduncle over here. There are just so many rings around the peduncle, and each ring represents one time the Hoya has flowered. So this particular one has flowered so many times, and I am so blessed and thankful that it has bloomed for me so many times. And it's a little bit worrying actually, because it hasn't really put out any new leaves. All it does is just keeps blooming, guys. So it is actually quite a small plant. It's not a very big one, and it has been flowering so regularly. Patricia puts up a very fragrant scent at night. So this girl usually opens at night, and I usually can smell it before I even spot that it has opened, because the fragrance will be so strong the minute I step into the garden. So it smells really nice, and it's also lasts pretty long, about maybe 5 days or so. So it's really a nice one, guys. And maybe just to talk a little bit about the leaves, I can't be so biased and always just talk about the flowers, right? So the leaves are pretty honestly, they are pretty normal in my opinion. They're just green, lime green, because it's facing the direct light. There's some slight veining. The leaves feels a bit matted. The feeling is a little bit matted. There are no hairs, and this is a little bit worrying. This yellow leaves is a bit worrying. Could be due to a little bit of over watering due to recently because of our rainy seasons here. This part here gets a lot of rain, natural rain, so I'm not quite sure if it might be slightly over watered, because usually when the leaves are yellow, it's a sign of there's some issues with the roots or the watering regimen. Let's take a view from the other side just to see how beautiful Patricia is before we move on to the next Hoya. And the next cutie that I would like to showcase this afternoon is this picture perfect Walliana Splash, guys. It's such a little cute ball of, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a ball, to be honest. It's kind of interesting because as you can see, it's like flat. It's not really a ball, it's sort of flat, but if you look at it from this angle, it's like a ball. So these are really like cute little buttons. This is not the first time it has flowered, but I have no complaints. It's really beautiful as well in its own way. The flowers have no scent, I believe. Okay, correction. I've just taken a sniff, guys. The flowers have a very faint floral scent that is not strong, unlike Patricia. So you have to really go near it to detect any scent. So it's a faint, pleasant scent. They last for about typically also 4 to 5 days. And I would like to talk a little bit about the leaves today. They are also very small and cute. It is rather hard and thick, a little bit like a Croniana kind of feeling. And there are some prominent veins as well. In fact, if it hasn't flowered, one may have mistaken this as a Croniana because it does look a bit similar. You can see there's some veining and there's some splashes, but the difference between Walliana leaves and Croniana is this one feels more matted. You know, it's not smooth. It doesn't have a kind of smooth finish. It feels more matted, and it's more curvy, and I would say it's a little bit less thicker than a Croniana, if that's helpful. And moving over to this side, my busy corner per se is not very busy this time round. And actually I'm actually quite happy about that, because I think the Hoyas need to take a break to sort of recuperate and you know, charge up their energies. If they keep flowering, it's also a little bit too worrying. So we have my Canosa White that's still in bloom, and there's another set of umbels that's inside there. And we have my dark pink that is in bloom for quite a while already. In fact, I think it's almost time for it to drop. But for this particular Canosa, they always look very fresh. I mean, they look very, very fresh, and even like, you know, when it's time to drop, they still look like they are very fresh. So I'm just gonna try to see if it's gonna come off. Not yet, guys. So it's still very fresh. Look at that. And we have Sarriette Red that is getting ready to bloom. It's budding up. There's one peduncle here, 2 and 3, guys. Amazing Hoya. This is the hardworking Sarriette Red here that has put up 3 peduncles. And Sunrise has also one set of peduncles with buds here getting ready to bloom. Sunrise is also a very easygoing and frequent bloomer here in Singapore. The flowers, when they open, looks like the Croniana and the Lacunosa types of flowers. So it's not very outstanding in my opinion. But the beautiful sun-stressed leaves and the fact that it's so easygoing and its lovely scent definitely makes it you know, a very nice Hoya to have. And over this corner here, this is my Hoya Memorial, and it has also flowered. It's a very cute looking red buttons. They are not very big. I guess the unique part about this particular Hoya is the scent of these flowers. To be honest, I'm not really a fan of the scent, but I understand a lot of people feel that these are like smelling like of caramel or butterscotch, and there are people that are, you know, really a fan of this. But in my opinion, it smells a little bit like yogurt, and I'm not really a fan of you know, yogurt per se. But it's really a very cute one. Just look at that. I mean, it's kind of a very striking red against yellow colors. I do feel that Memorial is quite easy going Hoya as well. It doesn't really need much special care and it seems to be growing pretty well. The leaves are not very big. They are quite hard in nature. There are some splashes on it, so some of these white colorations are actually splashes and those blotches are actually my sulfur treatment. So you can see that there are actually some splashes on it as well, and it's a very smooth kind of texture. It's not a matted kind of texture on the leaf, and you can see that the shape is pretty sharp pointed at the end. Let's see over here, and this is the peduncle that has pushed out, and inside here my Latifolia variegata has 2 peduncles. This one on the right has already flowered and closed, and this one on the left has just newly opened up. I really like the shape of these flowers. They are like a porcelain like appearance. You can see it's pretty glossy. It is creamy yellow in color with that reddish pinkish tinge at the edge of the flowers, and that's really very pretty. And I understand the unique thing about Latifolia variegata. This is the new name. The old name is Macrophylla. The interesting thing about this particular Hoya is it does like to form multiple peduncles. So it is not uncommon to see 2, 3, 4 or 5 peduncles appearing in the same place for this particular Hoya. And just in case you guys are not sure how the plants look like, I will just touch on briefly. This is the lovely leaves of Latifolia variegata. And as we walk over to this corner, guys, I just want to share with you my Cistantial Splash is budding up. There's a small peduncle here with new buds, as well as another one over there. Just look at that. They are just getting ready to open anytime now. Just look at how unique the shapes are right before they open. This is a pretty good timing to catch them, because honestly I haven't seen them at this stage before as well, even though this particular Hoya has flowered for me quite a few times already. This is just really right before they open up, guys. Just look at that, how interesting. Today I will take a chance to talk a little bit about the leaves as well. They are also a pretty thin leaf Hoya, so it does require more water. It is quite a thirsty one, I realized as well. And the beautiful part about this Hoya is really its unique foliage. I really love the splashes, and as you can see, every leaf, you know, the splash on every leaf is different. Guys, I'm so seriously done with this bird. Every time I start the video, it starts chirping, and you know, it doesn't, it's not, I think it likes my voice. I can wait like for 15 minutes and it doesn't say anything, and the minute I start recording, it starts. So I'm just gonna like ignore it and continue the video. If not, I will never be able to finish filming this video, guys. So yeah, so I was talking about Cistantial Splash. So just look at the splash. I mean, they are really beautiful. And over this corner, we have another of my Existential splash. To show you guys the close-up of the splashes. And it is a rather thin leaf Hoya, so I must say it does really need a bit more watering to keep it hydrated. And another one here. Just look at how gorgeous they are. And this particular Hoya I would like to share with everybody today. This is my Bachiensis splash. Just look at the silvery splash, guys. I just wanted to showcase this Hoya today because it's pretty unique in my opinion. As you can see, some of the leaves are green, and then it gets a splash on its leaves. And you can see this one is a very small one, and then it produces a very big leaf that's also rounded. And this one here, that's really cute with splash as well. And then right over here, we've got one that is not round, it's more like a sharp edge, and this one as well. So you can see that these three leaves are pointed, whereas then the next leaves are round. So I noticed that these round leaves are actually the older leaves, and then it produces these new leaves that are sharper in at ends. So that's actually quite interesting. So Hoya's leaves sometimes can be different under different conditions, even though it's from the same plant. And this is a really beautiful Hoya that I would like to share with everyone here today. And guys, I think I will end the video here because it's really challenging to try to take a video amidst just to show everybody there's a huge construction just going outside my place. So it's just really noisy, and it's very challenging to try to take a video without sounds, because we've got the bird and we've got that construction going on. So I think I will stop the video today here. Once again, thanks everybody for your visit with me. I hope you have a lovely Christmas Eve. It is Christmas Eve here in Singapore. May I take the chance to wish everybody a safe and happy holidays. I've actually made a short festive video earlier, so please visit it, and taking the chance to wish everybody Merry Christmas. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!